Henry Cavill, no longer Superman. Guys, let's jump right into it. What are your thoughts? Talk to me. This is big news. I sent you guys the news as soon as it came out. I'm pretty shocked, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. So, anybody want to jump in?
Chris, you're the
Yeah.
Superman guy, so you can start
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It's like sort of surprising. I think that it was never like confirmed that Henry Cavill was actually coming back um when he had that cameo at the end of Black Adam. And, we kind of talked about this briefly, but like it I guess there's kind of two sides to it. It sucks in the sense that I think Henry Cavill's probably one of the better actors to play Superman and also looks like, you ripped Clark Kent right out of the comics. Um, at the same time, he's also the first guy who had a Zack Snyder, Justice League Superman movie. So he is unfortunately the face of the Snyderverse. And I think that, James and Peter have this, I don't know, 10-year plan or whatever they're going to do with DC. And you kind of have to cut the head off the snake. You can't have the guy who represents the previous administration heading up your next, big phase of the DC universe. So it sucks from the sense that he probably was a really good choice to be Superman, but he was also just sort of right place, wrong time, where it's like
Mhm.
if we could keep you, we would, but you unfortunately represent everything we're trying to get away from, and this sort of had to be done, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I liked Henry Cavill as Superman, but I understand, wanting to
Same,
get away from him.
same.
What
And
about you, Anthony?
So I'm kind of playing catch up on the story here with, what's happening, but I did just see his message on his, I guess, his Twitter page about how he feels about the news. And, he's trying to be very humble because he's saying like, that's how life is, and they're trying to build this new universe, but it's kind of funny considering he even says it himself in his post, the recent announcement that he was going to return, and then no, we're not going to have you come back. I don't know. I'm wondering what he's going to do going forward, because it's not like he doesn't have any other projects. Like, he did a couple other movies. He has that alone, what is it called? The Holmes spinoff.
Oh yeah,
Um
Nola Holmes.
yeah, Nola Holmes thing. So, oh, and then he got rid of he lost the Witcher, or give up the Witcher, whatever the story is. I don't know. Um, I mean, I see his point of trying to be humble and saying, hey, you know what? At least Superman will still be around. What Superman stands for will still be around, kind of thing. But I don't feel like he got a fair shot at Superman, given how the movies have been. And I would like to have seen him getting another chance. A better shot at Superman. But no, that's life, I guess.
How about you, Frankie?
let's see. I'm pretty disappointed. But with optimism. I agree with Ant. I've been pretty vocal. Ever since the Justice League movies came out, and by Justice League movies, it's the same movie just re-released with Zack Snyder's iteration and obviously Josh Whedon's iteration. And I thought Henry Cavill was just phenomenal in them. Made me wish he had a second movie of Man of Steel because the first one to me was just okay. It wasn't amazing, wasn't great. It was good. It was fine. But afterwards, like he came in on his own as Superman. It's just like he like organically grew into the role more. And like Chris, what Ant said is like he deserved a shot. I think we wanted to see more, and I'd be lying, after watching Black Adam, which I saw for free. The Rock personally invited me, um, to the red carpet premiere in New York City, baby. like it was pretty cool seeing him again suit up and then seeing him face to face. But now while hearing and seeing all this, like, man, as a joke, you could just say, damn, Josh Whedon really hated Black Adam and said, fuck this, we're blowing it all up. As a joke, but also like maybe not a joke because it's The Rock had to go on Instagram or Twitter or whatever on his socials to defend that. Yeah, we're gonna make a profit anywhere between like 50 to like 100 million profit. And like that's good that you didn't break even or didn't lose money, but that's not a big ass return. I'm sure with what they wanted to do. So it's disappointing. It's the end of an era. It's not like it's not like how like when Hugh Jackman ended. He doesn't get a good send off. In fact, they killed him pretty early on, and
Right.
then they
They
brought him
literally
back.
just brought him back.
Yeah,
Like
zombified his ass and
he was
CGI
only in
mustache.
the Snyder cut for what, like 30 minutes of a 4-hour
If
movie.
that, I
Like,
guess I
yeah.
don't know. So like it's disappointing, uh, but But I know everyone and like everything right now on social media is angry react emoji, red face emoji. Everyone's really upset. But I am seeing the positive in all this. I trust James Gunn because he's created taken two obscure products and IPs and the Suicide Squad, especially with the random Suicide Squad that they used members and created a great superhero movie. And you can argue he made the best superhero show last year. This past year. When did Peacemaker come out? I already
I think it was
forgot.
this year, man. I think it was in
That's
January.
Yo, it's been a
amazing.
long year,
It's been
man.
a
Yeah.
long year. It felt fast, but at the same time it didn't. But Peacemaker was probably the best superhero show. And it was way better than Boba Fett, Book of Boba Fett. So like,
It's better than all the CW crap.
that's true. Yeah. So I'm thankful for what we got with Henry. I wish we could have gotten more. But I trust James Gunn's vision. I think he has something in line, obviously. That's why they had the meeting with him. They say that they're not done with using Henry, so we could see him return, maybe suit up as Superman or Bizarro or something. You never know. Let's fan cast him. But yeah, it sucks. It's the end of an era, but it is what it is. Things like this happen. How many times have we gotten? We've gotten more Batmans than we've gotten different Supermans. I think it is time to. You can argue that. Like it's time for a new Superman, guys. Come on. So
Yeah, I mean, I mean, kind of like what you said, I can't see them making this decision unless they have a plan going forward. And James Gunn is writing a Superman movie, and he's come out and said that Superman is pretty much going to be front and center in this new,
which is great to hear. That's their
yeah, I
poster
mean,
boy.
that's his strongest
Mm,
member of the Justice League, so
yeah,
it should be.
it's one of their poster
Um,
boys. One of, I
So
think.
what are they doing with Wonder Woman? Are they removing Gal Gadot as well, or are they just gonna
They haven't said.
miss
They
I think
just.
you're going to see a clean sweep
It might be. They
of
might
all
get
of
rid.
them.
Yeah, they might get rid of
They're not
everything.
going to announce anything about Ezra Miller because the movie hasn't come out yet, and the same with Zachary Levi. But I think they're all gone. I think the whole DCEU as it existed before, I think it's done. I think it's
Yeah.
done.
I just see James Gunn bringing in his own people, kind of like what Deion
Yeah,
Sanders did when he went to Colorado. It's like I'm
I
bringing
mean, he
my
should be
people.
allowed to though.
No, no,
Like,
of course he
they
is.
gave him the reins. Like, you also have to think James Gunn's not coming in to do someone else's ideas. Like, you bring him in because you want the James Gunn experience. So
Mhm.
with that comes like, let me cast my own Justice League.
Yeah, I think there was. I feel like I don't want to. This is going to be a classic 15-minute episode, right, guys? I think some of the things though, like for sure, cannot be touched as part of the agreement of him joining. Is the Matt Reeves Batman? Is it and the Joker? That can't be touched. Like that's you can't scrap that at all. That exists in its own universe. Um, please leave it alone. Which in a way I agree with. Like I really did enjoy, the Batman. So I want to see more of that. The Joker stuff, I could live without it. But I'm kind of excited that it's gonna be a musical. I feel like that's a very interesting tidbit take. I don't know. So I'm excited to see that stuff. So I'm happy that that still gets to live and hopefully continues.
Like I mean, I have my wishes that, they're not gonna happen, but with I feel like they could have got away with a soft reboot in the sense of, fuck Ezra Miller. Do what you want with Jason Momoa. I think they should have kept Henry, kept Gal, and not many people do, but I like Ben Affleck Batman. I mean, I would love to see
No,
him get
actually,
a better shot too, like
everyone actually pretty likes Ben Affleck as Batman overall. After, the Justice, or even after Batman vs Superman, even though the movie was absolute shit, he was great as Batman.
because even in that scene where he's beating up all the dudes to save Martha, like that's his style was like anime, comic book, video game Batman. Like it was fucking amazing. But I just wish, if you can do a reboot and keep those three alone, give them new movies or whatever, and then bring in people for Flash and I guess a new Aquaman or whatever, then that'd be great for me. But I mean, because Aquaman, the movie wasn't terrible, it was all right,
Yeah.
but it definitely needs to be scrapped because of all the other bullshit with Amber Heard, and I guess Jason Momoa does look more like a Lobo than Aquaman, so that could work out. But with this reboot, and not that I have anything against Lex Luthor, but can we not get Lex Luthor this time? Can we just get someone else like
Oh yeah.
Brainiac
Not
or Parasite or um anybody? I'm just with so many Lex Luthors, so I don't know, just there's other villains out there that we can see in the movies.
okay.
Except Mixus Biblic, because fuck him, he's whack. Oh, Metallo, that'd be another cool one. Fucking Metallo, that'd be fucking cool.
Well, I definitely trust James Gunn to like bring some of these lesser known superhero villains to the screen. Because we saw that a lot in the Suicide
Mm.
Squad. I mean, he brought in Starro. Like, come on, like Starro's not in anything. It was such a random character to use as the main villain in a movie.
Guess
Although I
he's a
guess you could
fan.
argue that movie had a lot of people playing the villain.
Yeah, I guess so. I hope we get a, a Wildcat movie. It's so random. Or like an old class, like an old like JSA.
Give me Jay
Yeah.
Garrick.
Exactly.
I wonder
Just
what
for you. I hope you get that.
this means for the Constantine movie.
Oh
Because
yeah.
Keanu is coming back.
I
I
thought he wasn't coming back.
No, he said he would.
Yeah, he was. He
I remember he
was.
said he wanted to come back
Yeah, I think he
as that.
signed on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I feel. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
I don't know.
it's
Yeah.
hard to tell
I will
I mean,
say, so they had a Constantine TV show, and after the first season, they kind of brought him into the CW stuff, and he also did a couple animated Constantine characters. I forgot the name. I don't know the name of the guy, but I think if it came down between him and Keanu, I'm gonna go with the other guy because he looks like Constantine. He sounds like him. I think for whatever that guy's name is, I'll look it up later. But him as Constantine is almost similar to Mark Hamill as Joker and Kevin Conroy as Batman type of thing, just because he played it in multiple different sources, and he actually is British, so it works out.
yeah, Matt Ryan. He actually looks exactly like Constantine. Also,
Yeah,
Constantine became a really big figure in the DC animated movies towards the end,
Hmm.
yeah.
before they like started the universe over. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like right now the last movie slated to come out is Blue Beetle.
Seems that way.
And I would imagine after that,
Flash.
you're gonna see actually, I don't know.
I haven't
Dude, I don't even
scrapped
know
it.
if they ever gave Flash like an actual release date.
They might actually just take the hit at this point. If they're willing to cut off these big name actors, I think they're just willing to eat it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I feel like if James Gunn had his way, that movie would never come out.
And
Like
Yeah.
here's my
they would
thing.
just
So,
cancel
because
it.
CW did their own Flashpoint, and it kind of sucked. And I hope that if you do a Flashpoint movie, it has to be as close to the comic as you can with the Aquaman versus Wonder Woman war and the Thomas Wayne Batman. Um, the movie we're gonna get, I think there was like three Flashes, and I was like, explain this, please, because I don't know. It just felt dumb to me, and I always hated Ezra Miller as Flash.
Yeah, that was like bad casting from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So Flash is currently scheduled for June 16th, and after that is Blue Beetle in August. I would imagine after that Blue Beetle movie comes out, they're gonna just finish blowing up, all of
I
that
hope
shit.
there's an actual giant bomb at the end of Blue Beetle that just resets everything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I mean, this is weird. I get what you're saying, Anthony, about like keeping certain people on, which I think like in a perfect world, yeah, that would have been Gal Gadot was a great Wonder Woman.
she
Henry
was great,
Cavill
yeah.
and Ben Affleck were great as Superman and Batman. I think it's just unfortunate that they represent the Snyderverse,
Yeah.
and that's not what James Gunn is building. And so you just it sucks, but it's like you can't keep them around. You could bring them back in like a cameo crossover multiverse type of thing. Maybe that's how we end up seeing Henry Cavill again.
Hmm.
But you just for for everything DC has gone through of like constantly starting and stopping and having zero plan with their universe, like trying to catch up to Marvel by jamming every Justice League character into the Justice League movie. This is finally their chance to just start over. They have like an actual capable person in charge. Just start over. Frankie and I talked about this. Was like it's gonna suck in the short term, but just take the hit. Like
Yeah.
deal with the angry people. Like lots of people are gonna be mad that Henry Cavill's gone.
Yeah.
Then people are gonna be mad when they announce like Gal Gadot's not coming back and Ben Affleck's not coming back and all that. But like 2, 3 years from now, whenever we get that first James Gunn DC movie,
Yep.
or like Justice League characters, I think then it will be worth it. And in the short
Hmm.
term, it's going to be kind of annoying because it's going to look like DC again.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what they're doing. They're just canceling random shit. They're replacing actors. But I think it would have been even harder to keep like half of the Justice League and then replace the other actors
Hmm.
and then never address it. I don't even know how they would go about like yeah, but it's less to do with the actors and just more about what they represent, which
Yeah.
is, forever being tied to a 4 hour Snyder Cut movie. And you just have to move on.
Yeah. I
So
don't.
I had two questions. First one, whether or not we know this. Um, are they gonna keep Peacemaker as the part of the new universe since he did the show, right?
Yeah. So James Gunn directed it, wrote it. I don't think he directed all of it, but he wrote most of it. So he co-created it. So I think that stays. I think it stays. To like me. Oh, that was a question I also had, but we'll finish off with your stuff. But yeah, I think that stays. I
And
don't
then
know. I don't know
second
if it's confirmed though.
question is who is Chris Pratt gonna play?
Probably Mario. Mario, head of the Justice
You
League.
know what? He might be Aquaman.
Oh God.
Hal Jordan.
Keep Chris Pratt far
You
away
know
from this
how
universe.
Jordan, maybe, I can kind of
No,
see it. Or Guy
no.
Gardner,
Dude, I
maybe.
think Jon Stewart's gonna be the Green Lantern in this universe.
I hope so.
If the animated film is giving any indication of the direction they want to take that character. Also, between the two of them, Hal Jordan has a pretty unfortunate live action movie tied to his name, and
Hmm.
Jon Stewart could start fresh.
Yeah.
So that might be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I thought about is like, so I guess if they do blow it up or partially blow it up, does he bring back his usual, go-to people like Michael Rooker, even though he killed him in the Suicide Squad, or um uh Nathan Fillion, even though he also killed him in the Suicide Squad. So I question like, does he bring those people back if he does blow it up out of like does he
Who
break
did he
continuity?
play in Suicide Squad? Nathan Fillion.
Uh, the detachable kid, the
I
Yeah,
guy
the
don't
who
guy whose like
remember.
arms would come off and then he would like beat you up with them or something.
TDK.
I gotta watch it again because I don't remember.
Really? Damn,
He
Yeah, I
Chris.
only
died in
seen
like the
it.
first like
I
five
only seen it
minutes.
once. Yeah.
The one was like it was like BT uh TDK. And then it's like what your name is letters, and it's like all names are letters, dickhead.
Yeah.
I don't
You
remember.
don't. Oh Jesus!
I mean, I've only seen it once in the theaters, and I haven't seen
Eat
it since
brain
then.
food, damn it.
All
um,
names are
you
letters.
own the
When when
you own
when
the
did?
movie.
No, I don't.
Oh, you didn't buy the. I thought you
No,
bought
I
the.
don't have. No, I never bought it.
You
Oh
didn't buy
damn!
it? Oh
I
Nah,
shit.
I
thought you.
never did.
I thought
No.
you got the steelbook. You sure?
Huh.
Yeah,
feel like you're
Wait,
t-
you don't have the steelbook?
I feel like you're pulling
no,
my leg, man.
no, I really
Oh,
don't have the steelbook.
Okay.
I don't.
huh. All right.
Huh. Another question I had was, um, does he like? You kind of touched on it actually. And it was like, who does Chris Pratt play? Well, who does Dave Bautista play? Because Dave Bautista's riding James Gunn's dick, and like in a good way, I guess. But like,
Yeah,
I say Bane. It's like, might as well just give him Bane, make him Bane or something.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
It depends, like, I don't know.
Or
I feel like if
make him
Michael
dark side.
Rooker is any indication, I feel like if Michael Rooker is any indication, he's not going to use the MCU people in prominent roles.
Mm,
I think like I would hope that it's not lost on James Gunn that he is currently very heavily associated with the Marvel brand. And
true.
if you immediately start bringing over people who were just in like going to be one of the most recent Marvel movies, it's going to make it that much harder to like. This is all about getting a fresh start, and like you can't get a fresh start if you just start bringing over Batista and Zoe Saldana and
But I
bringing your
mean,
whole crew. Vin Diesel showing up as
But
someone.
imagine him breaking Batman's back with the Batista theme playing.
um, I mean, it's not beneath him. He brought on the. Oh well, you didn't watch the show, but the guy who played one of the handlers in Peacemaker wound up being in the new Guardians movie, and so he will recycle actors. And I get like I definitely see what you're saying, but like I mean I know you won't be surprised if he does it, and he shouldn't in a way, but he's gonna do it. He's gonna bring in like these actors like that he's worked with prominently. Even Elizabeth Banks, I think he's worked with a bunch of times, believe it or
I
not.
mean, I could see him bringing in like some of the lesser known or like less prominent people, but
It's funny. I think he directed ScarJo in one of his movies. I think was she in Slither? I can't remember. Anyways, but like, yeah, I hear you. But I don't know. It should be a fun time. I think people. I'm gonna let people be upset, but just don't get annoying out there, fam. Don't get annoying. Don't say like I'm gonna boycott this or burn James Gunn's garden gnomes to the ground because they represent a patriarchy that shouldn't be here because Zack Snyder should still be in power. Man, come on, get over yourself. Like it's it's done. James Gunn's good unless James Gunn is involved in another scandal.
I don't
Like
think Zack Snyder is that good of a director though. Like,
oh, absolutely not. Like at least in my opinion.
I
Anyone who thinks
don't.
so is just
So
like yeah.
we gotta respect the Snyderverse. Eat my ass. We're not. No.
I look. I'm happy the movie came out for everybody. It didn't do anything for me. In fact, it just made me dislike Justice League even less. No, I'm just kidding. Um, the point is, I think the fresh restart and this announcement is huge. That says James Gunn and I forget the other guy's name are serious about
Peter
just
Safran.
yeah
Yeah.
are just very serious about hitting reset button hard, and they're doing it. And if they're not hitting the button now and saying we're blowing everything up, they're using a magic eraser and just erasing some things right now, which is starting off with unfortunately Henry Cavill, which he's basically out of a job now because he's lost The Witcher and now he's lost Superman. So F's in the chat.
And they
Yeah,
also
I mean,
ditched Affleck, right? Or not yet.
I
Well,
think
he quit, but
yeah.
then they said like, oh, we're bringing him back, but now there was never real confirmation for that, and now like, why would he want to come back? Like they're doing a clean slate. So
Yeah, they had talked to him about coming back to direct some stuff
they said
in the
that's still
James
possible.
James Gunn
Yeah,
universe,
I saw
but
that.
on the bright side though, as disappointed as people might be, you're gonna see the characters again. Like,
Mhm.
let's all remember that at one point we didn't know who the fuck Henry Cavill was. Like, this guy is famous now because he looks exactly like Clark Kent right out of the comic books. But like, when I saw Man of Steel, I had no fucking idea who that guy was.
His notable role before that was an Egyptian movie, I believe.
Yeah,
Some badly CGI Egypt movie.
And then
pretty obscure.
When Patterson played Batman, everyone was like
Twilight,
worried.
Twilight,
They're like, oh my
Twilight.
God, what are we gonna do? And how is
You
it gonna
were
be a
one of
different
those
Batman
guys,
or
though. You were one of those people, though.
I was like, I don't think he's gonna do it. And I was like, yeah, I shitted on him for it,
Yeah,
and he actually did a pretty good Batman. So
he was a great Batman. I thought he was
Yeah,
a
he's a
great
great
Batman.
actor. But I mean, like, there's always this debate going on about like, is the actor who plays the superhero the reason people go to see the movie, or are they going to see the movie because it's the superhero? And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter who the actor is. And I think in the case of like Superman and Batman, um, it honestly probably doesn't matter. I think like you're not gonna realistically these days, you're not gonna cast somebody who's bad, who's like a bad fit and doesn't like suit the character at all. I think,
Mhm.
you could probably, if you're going back, you're looking at some pretty good casting decisions for the last few people who played Batman, and the last one who played Superman, and then we skip over the guy before that. Um, but I think they can probably do it again. I mean, James Gunn took Guardians, he took the Suicide Squad, he took all these, people that, I mean, Zoe Saldana, I guess, but like these were not like that. Chris Pratt was coming off of Parks and Rec. Like he was the side character Andy. I mean,
Mhm.
I
Zero
I
Dark
think
32.
I think we're at a point now where like you're gonna go see the new Superman movie because it's the new Superman movie. It's
right.
this like I don't go watch the Spider-Man movies because I like Tom Holland. I go because I like Spider-Man, because I like Peter
I like
Parker.
Tom Holland.
Like, yeah, but that he's not the reason I'm going to see the movie. I'd go
I
see it like,
am.
I mean, well, I don't want to save anybody because I skipped all the Andrew Garfield ones, but
Hey, dude.
I would usually go see it if it was anybody like Spider-Man.
So
I guess.
was Superman Returns the last one before Man of Steel?
That never
Yeah.
happened. That movie never came out.
Took a giant
I didn't
shit on
know.
it. Thanks a lot. Wait,
There
It's
we
funny
go.
because
can you do the bit?
a bit.
You know
What was
which
that
bit.
from the end of Ted?
Yes.
Thanks for getting our hopes up and then taking a giant shit on them.
I think
Yeah.
the most funny thing about that for him though was like when he was Superman, he was very thin, and then in the CW he played the Atom, and he was buff as hell.
And then
And
didn't he come back and play Kingdom Come Superman
yeah,
or like
Yes, he
some
did.
he
He
was
did.
Kingdom Come Superman for an episode.
random
He looked
spin-off?
great in that suit.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Really?
another one
Wow.
who didn't get a fair shake. Give the next person who plays Superman a fair shake at actually making the movies, damn it.
All right.
Like,
So our homework for tonight before we sign off, because we're running out of time, is and then in the chat, in our group chat, send the most generic white guy who's unknown who should play the next Superman, and also an unknown minority who should play the minority Superman. I think that's what we should do in our little chat group
Calvin
chat.
Ellis.
Perfect.
Who do you
Yes.
say?
Calvin Ellis, the black
Oh,
Superman.
yeah.
Obama
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, that's our little homework and our little random fun thing to do for us. But for all the people out there who are upset about this, you know, reach out to us. Let us know. Or if our friends and family are listening, let us know what you think. I don't know when this is gonna go up, but I'm gonna share it on my IG story, and I want to hear what you have to say because your opinion matters, even though it doesn't. But that's all the time we have for today, folks. My name is Frankie Rodriguez, Anthony Olan, Christopher Langsdorff. We are the Three Amigos. We went 3 for 3 today, and hopefully we will continue to be 3 for 3 on the next breaking pop culture news coming your way. But thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.